Hello and welcome to this week's psychic forecast for week commencing 18th of April. That's Easter Monday if you celebrate Easter. I'm very sorry there was no forecast last week. I had to prioritize healing and rest, and I'm sure a lot of you were feeling that difficult, overwhelming energy too. But we are back this week. We are going to start with an overview of the week and then we will go day by day. There will of course be timestamps as always in the description below so that you can jump back in during the week and check out each day's energy. So let's dive on in with the overview for this week. Let's take a look at the cards for this week as a whole. So we have number 8, power, number 1, clarity of belief, and number 20, renewal. Okay. So this week's energy comes in with a strong feeling of getting a fresh start, and you may be feeling more optimistic or perhaps clearer about the direction that your life is moving at the moment. And as I've said several times already this year, our manifesting is actually going on fast forwards right now. So our ability to co-create with the universe is becoming more powerful. And the message that I've certainly been getting from my guides is that we must start commanding the energy now when we create through manifestation. It's no longer a case of asking for what you want, it's a case of commanding the energy and actually learning how to control those energies now. We're really stepping up our game spiritually at the moment, so we have to learn how to work with that energy at a more advanced level. On a spiritual level, you know, the updates and downloads that we've been receiving since last year are starting to kick in now in a big way. So we may find ourselves feeling that we have a clearer direction in life, or at least that the current path that we're on isn't quite right anymore, and we're getting more clear on what we don't want. It's a really good time to reassess your life, get really clear on what you do and don't want moving forwards in your life. So use this week to get clear or to get even clearer on your goals, on your aims, your dreams, and what you simply won't accept in your life anymore, because that's equally as important as knowing what you do want, is knowing what you don't and will not accept. The Libra full moon that we just had on Saturday, it's having the effect of reminding us that our lives should be balanced, but more than that, it will actually open the door energetically now for us to accept and receive more abundance, more wealth, and more luxury into our lives. Libra reminds us that we deserve nice things. We don't have to live in lack or poverty, nor should we. We can also have rest time, playtime, and treats. As with everything, as we move into the new energy of the age of Aquarius, none of these things will be forced upon you. It remains your decision as a sovereign being to choose those things for yourself. So don't just expect wealth or luxury to show up on your doorstep if you haven't invited it in. So let's move on to Monday now. We'll take a look at the cards for Monday. We have number 1, love begins. We have number 8, success and growth. And we have the Princess of Summer. So really nice cards here, very positive, very hopeful energy of new beginnings. So with new beginnings, what do you love? Who do you love? What do you love to do? So Monday's energy comes in with the message that we need to be kind to ourselves. And if you haven't already, put yourself on a path in your life or in your relationships, your career that is joyful. It's time to start being truly kind to yourself in order to make the rest of this lifetime one of greater ease, greater happiness, peace, and calm. That can only happen if you choose it and take steps towards it. Now, again, there's nothing that says you have to do that. As I mentioned earlier, the energy of the age of Aquarius is not one that will force you to do what's in your best interests. It's entirely up to you. You're a sovereign being. If you choose a future of struggle, suffering, and misery, that's entirely your privilege to do that. But I don't recommend it. I don't think that would be wise. The key here is actually sustainability. And I know that's a bit of a buzzword right now, and it should be, because energetically it's something that we actually need to aim for at the moment. But like many things, it's also something that's been hijacked by the dark powers, and it's something that's been mislabeled to us, missold to us, if you like. Many of the things which are labeled as sustainable are actually quite anti-human and could lead us into poverty and misery. So be very careful whose advice you are taking about sustainability. Take some time to make your life sustainable for you. This is the key here. Make it sustainable for you, for now and for the future as well. Now, this may mean working fewer hours, changing jobs, leaving a toxic relationship, even moving to a different country. There are any number of ways that you could change, and it will be different for each person. This is going to be a very individual thing. There's no hard and fast rules here. It's about what's sustainable, what's good for you. You may not have nice or easy options available to you immediately, so bear that in mind. But if you intend positive changes for yourself, you absolutely have the ability to make them happen, no matter what appears to be going on in the outer world right now. Remember that your inner world is what will create your personal reality. So it may be time to begin healing from trauma or taking the next step on your own path to mental health or physical well-being. You don't have to try and do your healing on your own. I want you to remember that it's okay to reach out for help. It is your responsibility to heal, but trying to do it on your own can be very, very difficult. So it may be time to seek out a counselor, a psychotherapist, a doctor, or a wellness coach right now. So moving on to Tuesday, let's take a look at Tuesday's cards. We have number 4, Firm Foundation. We have number 8, Helpless and Hopeless. And we have the 10 of Winter. Okay, so Tuesday's energy reminds us that beginnings can be hard. And I want to remind you for Tuesday that starting something new isn't always easy. In fact, it can be very difficult to start a new project, a new business, a course of study. Even finding new friends or finding a romantic partner can be very difficult. But just because it requires some effort doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. It's not necessarily the wrong thing to do. There is a myth that you come across in parts of the New Age or spiritual community where people try to tell you that if it isn't easy, then it's not for you. And frankly, that's BS. I would agree that struggle on the longer term isn't a wise situation to get into, but effort, putting in the work to achieve a goal, is extremely rewarding and worthwhile. So don't think that just because something is difficult, especially at first, that means that God or the universe doesn't want you to do it. That's simply not the case. We're in the process of building a whole new world right now and adapting to a new reality and growing on a spiritual and emotional level, which means that what we're doing right now can be exhausting. This is a big task that we're undertaking here, bringing in the age of Aquarius. This is huge. This is massive. But that doesn't make it wrong just because it's difficult. It just means that we need to remember to rest, take breaks, to go on holiday or vacation. And we need to learn to give ourselves a break when we mess up or forget to do something. You may have noticed that there was no weekly forecast last week. I wasn't able to do it. I had to give in to rest and healing last week, and I had to make my peace with the fact that it just wasn't going to get done. I try to avoid that, of course. I always try to be on time and do my work, but occasionally you have to put your well-being first. And it's that old saying as well, learn to rest, not to quit. If you push yourself too hard and really fall out of love with what you're doing, you might stop doing it, and that would be a terrible shame. So energetically, Tuesday may show us the potential for improvement or success on the longer term, and that glimpse of what is to come may help to keep you motivated even if you're feeling tired or discouraged. So let's move on to Wednesday now. We'll take a look at the cards for Wednesday. We have number 6, the third eye chakra. Number 8, dedicated effort. And number 15, ego. Interesting mix. This Wednesday is going to live up to its name, I think, as Hump Day. It's going to be a struggle. It feels like a trying energy that really makes you want to quit. So watch out for dark thoughts or impulsive and unwise decisions that you might be tempted to make today. There could be some nasty romantic breakups on Wednesday as well. It's not the best energy for going on a date, especially not a first date, so you might want to reschedule for another day if that's something you've got planned. It's certainly a day of temptations, which could show up in different ways, either in your romantic life. You might be tempted to cheat or hook up with an old flame who's bad for you. You might find yourself tempted to just walk out on your job on a whim or to act like a bit of a capricious child. Your intuition will guide you on Wednesday. You know, if you feel that your ego mind, that part of you that thinks it's so clever and logical, tries to lead you astray, because that's something it does. This is not a day to fall back into destructive habits or into addictions. Now, I know Lent's over now, and we may have indulged in a lot of chocolate over the weekend, but that isn't a sign from the universe that you can just charge headlong into hedonism or gluttony without any consequences, so bear that in mind. Slow and steady wins the race. Moderation is key. Keep taking steps in the right direction in your life, you know, towards your dreams, your goals, and you will get there, even if it doesn't feel like it on Wednesday. Wednesday's just a difficult day. It's a day where we may be tempted to fall into our self-destructive tendencies as well, our self-sabotaging tendencies, and you can counter that by being ready for Wednesday's difficult energy. Perhaps carry a piece of amethyst or a clear quartz crystal or even rose quartz in your pocket just to help absorb some of that negativity, keep your energy a bit lighter and happier. So let's move on to Thursday now. Let's take a look at the cards for Thursday. We have number 13, Transformation. Number 4, Open Up. And the 9 of Autumn. And I realise I sound like a bingo caller. Okay. So Thursday actually comes in with a welcome energy shift after Wednesday's difficult energy. It's a day where we may well get another glimpse of a more hopeful and positive future for humanity, so that's pretty nice. I see inspiration and real hope and positivity in the energy for Thursday, so draw on that if you've been feeling down or discouraged, which many of us have given the events of the past few years. I think that's understandable. We've been through a lot. There's an energy of change and new possibility this Thursday, but it's a grounded and sensible energy, which tells me that change in your life will be very practical and straightforward. So if there are any big shifts or changes happening, it's not going to be high drama or sudden shifts which are shocking and put you off balance. This is quite straightforward change. So this energy feels like reaping a well-deserved reward for some people as well, or maybe getting a good look at the rewards that are coming, which are on their way. So if you're just starting out in a business, on a career, a job, a project, a relationship, you know, you will be able to see what's coming on the longer term, and that can be quite hopeful, quite positive. It's also a good day for money and finance. I'd say it's an auspicious day for asking for a business loan or for funding for a project if you need it, but make sure that you're being realistic and practical. Those are the key words today. And dot all the I's, cross all the T's. Now, intuition and psychic ability is also highlighted to me for Thursday. So I feel it's a good day for prayer and spiritual practice. May also be a good day to get a psychic reading done, particularly about work, career, business, money matters. Financial plans or projects that begin on Thursday or that start a new phase on Thursday will have long-term potential, so that's very positive. But remember to stay grounded and not let your imagination get away from you. Only take on what you're going to be able to do. Remember that sustainability is the theme right now. Don't bite off more than you can chew, or you may live to regret it very soon. So start small and let things grow on Thursday rather than trying to start too big and hoping to succeed quickly. So let's take a look at Friday now. We'll have a look at the cards for Friday. We have number 1, Triumphant Success. I love that one. Good card. Number 7, Decisions and Daydreams. Was that Daydreams and Decisions? Doesn't matter. And the 8 of Autumn. Okay. So Friday actually comes in with a very can-do feel. Perhaps there'll be some achievements or a milestone to celebrate, but it's not the moment to rest on your laurels. This isn't the end of the race. The words I get for Friday are, it's time for part 2. So it may be the beginning of a new phase or the next phase of a plan for your future, or time to just take the next step towards a dream or a goal. So allow your intuition to guide you on Friday because solutions will appear. It's a good day to pay attention to your dreams. You may have some interesting dreams the night before Friday or on that night. So do remember to write them down. Psychic ability is on fire on Friday. Solutions and ideas will be coming through. So spend some time in prayer, in meditation or contemplation on Friday if you can. Work with your higher self and your spirit guides to formulate the ideal plan for the next steps of your life. Study and research is also highlighted on Friday, so it may be necessary to actually gain some new skills or some new knowledge in order to achieve your longer term goals. So you might be thinking about taking a course or perhaps going back to school to study something. Now, what I would say is see if that's really necessary and if it truly feels right. Because the old way of doing things is shifting now as we move into the new energy of this age of Aquarius. So there may be a quicker or smarter way to achieve the learning or knowledge that you need without having to spend as much time or money as you would have done in the past. You may not need a degree to achieve your goals, even if you think you do right now. So I would say think carefully about any course of study that you're going to undertake, because there may be a better, easier way that will achieve the same result without the heavy, slower energy associated with long periods of study. That's the old way of doing things. That's the old energy, moving into a new way of doing it now. And the more we move into this new energy, the more we will find new and easier ways to learn and grow, which is pretty great. So there may be a shortcut or an easy method for you to move forwards today. So look out for the signpost from the universe. So let's move on to Saturday now. Here are Saturday's cards. We have number 7, Deception and Envy. Doesn't want to focus. We have the base chakra or root chakra, number 1. And we have the 4 of Autumn. Okay, not so great. And Saturday, there may be drama on Saturday. Romantic relationships and friendships could experience some big problems today, so beware of the drama queens and those who want to make life more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, I can see the potential for falling out over money on Saturday in particular. If we forget that we can share and that the world is an abundant place, we could end up falling out with our nearest and dearest. That doesn't mean that you should allow yourself to be taken advantage of by people who are mean, dishonest, or selfish, however. Definitely don't enable any abusive or addictive behavior today, and hold strong boundaries if somebody tries to take advantage of your good nature or use some spiritual cliche against you. So look out for that. Couples may have arguments over money on Saturday, and I can see some fears about the future coming up. On a global level, there may be some bad news with regards to money or finance, so you might be feeling like you're less well off than you actually are. So try not to let worry get the better of you. There is always a solution, and fiat money isn't even real, so try not to get stressed out. Saturday could actually be a really good day to learn the truth about money and the financial system and about fiat currency, what it really is. And that will actually help to allay some of your fears and to get a much clearer picture of what's actually happening with money in the world. It's not real. No one will tell you that, but it's not real. So it's also a good day for meditating on abundance, and finding a way to be at peace, learning not to worry about money and finance. That will help you definitely on the longer term. I also see some potential difficulties on Saturday. There may be some cheating partners, a lot of cheating going on, bit of drama, maybe to do with an ex. So try to avoid that if you can. Avoid the conflict. It's not necessary. The energy is not very harmonious on Saturday, so it's a good day to just keep to yourself, stay at home, keep your head down, don't go to the party, don't go to the nightclub with your partner or your boyfriend, girlfriend, Avoid the drama, stay out of other people's dramas, and stay out of problems. You will not be able to help other people with their issues on Saturday. It's a very difficult day, so don't even try. The energy is just high drama, so leave people to it if they've been silly. Let's move on to Sunday now. We'll have a look at the cards. We have number 2, Spiritual Union. Number 9, Dreams Coming True. And number 6, The Lovers. Now, these are much nicer for relationships. Look at these. These are great cards. So Sunday this week comes in with a much gentler energy, and the dramas of Saturday may be quickly forgotten or quickly resolved without too much trouble, thankfully. That's why I said don't get dragged into them. It'll probably be a storm in a teacup. Clarity is a key word for Sunday, as is reconciliation and compassion for others too. Sunday's energy is far more harmonious and shows us just what we can achieve when we work together to resolve our differences and try to see the other person's point of view. We don't all have to agree on everything to get on. Something a lot of people forget these days. But it's true. Imagine how boring the world would be if we all had the same opinions about everything. It would be incredibly dull. So romantic relationships are highlighted on Sunday. There may be a possibility to start a new romance, which is quite exciting, or to take an existing relationship to a new level of understanding or a new level of commitment. The energy is actually showing us the potential for the longer term, both in our personal relationships and friendships, and for the world too, the potential that we have to live a far more harmonious, loving and compassionate life. So it's a very hopeful and dreamy energy on Sunday. So I would say enjoy the feelings that it brings up, because it could be quite enjoyable, but don't get swept up in them. Remember to keep your feet on the ground too. Ground yourself if you feel a bit floaty on Sunday. There's a possibility that somebody from your past could show up on Sunday, and there could be a new romantic possibility there. So that could be quite exciting. But whether romance is on your mind or not, you can still enjoy the good vibes of Sunday and use them to visualize a joyful and happy future for yourself and for those that you care about. So the heart chakra may well be very happy and expanded on Sunday. Some very nice feelings around the heart and the higher heart. And that's absolutely ideal for spiritual practice, for manifesting, because that means that you can manifest more joy. Just capitalize on that wonderful, joyful, happy energy so that you can bring more good feelings into your life on the longer term. So now we will move on to the motivational message for the week from the Fairy Oracle, and we just have one card. We're back to one again, and it's this one, Purity. Isn't that lovely? That beautiful card. Lovely, lovely message. Okay. So there's a really, really lovely reminder here that you are a beautiful and perfect child of God, child of heaven. You are loved and cherished, and the wisdom of the universe is all available for you to tap into. The message from the fairies is really one of reassurance for this week. We are here on Earth right now because we're meant to be. We're not a plague, we're not a virus, we're here for a very important spiritual reason right now, even if that's not immediately obvious. So do try to remember your soul chose to incarnate here in this lifetime. And that doesn't mean that it was easy for you. And many of us, especially the souls who are here to help usher in the new energy of this new age of Aquarius, have had very difficult or traumatic lives. And many of us have struggled with many challenges. So I don't want to belittle that in any way, but you are here because you're meant to be, no matter how difficult it has been. And I want you to know that you are loved and that you're beautiful and important, even if you don't see it or believe it right now. Try to trust that there is a wider plan at work and that you're a very important part of that just by your very existence. So the higher heart chakra is actually highlighted to me. That's the one here just above the physical heart chakra. And there is a suggestion that it's a good week to do some heart healing as well, either with a therapist, or you could just simply carry a piece of rose quartz in your pocket, or you could wear a necklace with a nice piece that will sit right on the higher heart chakra, which is your center of higher love and compassion. That would be very advantageous for this week. So I want you to remember you are here because you belong here and you are loved. So thank you very much for watching to the end of the video. If you've made it this far with me, please do remember to drop me a like, subscribe to the channel, because that really helps. Leave a comment if there's something that you would like to share with us, and I will see you all again soon.